Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we've returned. We've returned here with the remainder of the broadcast. Welcome to the Rongyi Cup Season 3 Group A. We just wrapped up with the first elimination match, and with that, Rogue is the first player out of the tournament, out of Rongyi Cup. The question becomes, who's the first player to make it to the playoffs? Again, we have herO and ByuN about to face off. Again, in a best of 3, game 1 is going to be on 10,000 feet. Let's go. Let us jump on in. Let us jump into our first series, our first best of 3, again to determine who will advance on into the playoffs, who will be knocked down to face off against Trigger in that decider match. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go as we do open up. Welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smallest maps. I believe it has the shortest rush distance out of any map in the map pool. So very short rush distance, aggression and momentum. Well, aggression is favored here. Momentum very quickly swings from one player to the other because it takes so little time to go from one side of the map all the way to the other. So fights can heavily swing from one way or the other, depending on how they do go. And oh my god, as the probe gets very low. Jesus, very low. He wants it. He wants a probe. Jesus, he wants a probe. The probe goes down. Nice pick up here by ByuN, and herO did a slip up. He took too much damage on the worker. With that, the probe scout is denied, and herO will be playing in the dark. He at least is aware of the lack of gas. True. He saw the economic opener, but he will be unaware of the follow-up. He's going to be unaware. On patrol just in case. Getting eyes on any kind of would-be eBay block. So players are settling in. When it comes to these smaller maps, I typically do favor Terran. Terran players can be very aggressive, very active, and hit a lot of timing attacks. We saw that from ByuN in this series against Trigger. We'll see how herO will approach this. We have seen some success with players blindly opening up charge when they expect that their Terran opponents is going to be in their face, so you can try to hard counter that. And herO is one to gamble. Shorter rush distance than Steps of War. Shortest rush distance map in the map pool. Like, I believe, for example, like Beckett Industries is shorter than this. God, what's the other one? I think it was in the map pool before Beckett Industries. God, all that. Hold on. It was the map where Spirit beat Raynor on in EBT Europe. God. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's where they went all the way to the late game, and Raynor he was very. It was like an hour-long game, and Raynor was like, "Well, I guess this is what we're doing." And Spirit was like, "Yep." God. Neo-Humanity, there we go. Jeez. I found it. Neo-Humanity, I believe, has a shorter rush distance than this as well. But just referring to the map pool itself. Not all maps out there. Neo-Humanity, that was a map. That was a map. For now though, ByuN, he does break out. I say he breaks out, bleeds out a lot of Marines in the process here. herO is still just bullying him, as more Marines are going to be falling. Behind this, ByuN going for his Widowmine drop. That is one of the reasons why he's having such a difficult defense here, as the Widowmines are moving out across the map. And mining is being denied. Ooh, herO pulling a Trigger, going for the DT follow-up. If you remember, Trigger in game 1 against ByuN also went Dark Templar. Unfortunately, ByuN had a Raven. Here, no Raven. No Raven. ByuN is going for a tank production, so we have a later tech lab. Wouldn't mind say to hit the natural. Oh! herO pulls away in time. Losing only 2 workers. Oh, Jesus. Yes, herO does have a little bit of miscontrol, but so far, ByuN has yet to go in. He's so close to scouting. He's so close. The Dark Shine is right there, but alas, ByuN, he sees nothing. Meanwhile, the CC is forced to lift. Now there is NG here for a scan. DTs are waddling in, and hopefully ByuN doesn't mule. As ByuN is holding onto those scans, does he notice? Ooh, A move. Yeah, herO's on A move. He reveals his hand. There's the first scan. Mind drop into the main. There's the second scan. Oh. As scans are being spent. Mind shot goes off on the Stalker. Not bad. But ByuN is stuck on 1 base. So the scan goes off. DT barely gets away. Okay. Barely escapes. There's the add-on swap here. Oh, sorry, there's a tech lab on the starport into the Raven. As another scan is spent. And again, ByuN, he'll eventually be able to saturate this base, but it is heavily delayed. And we're forcing another scan. It's 1, 2 Marines. Again, herO just stripping away mules. Now there's a Raven though. Oh no! Yeah, now there's a Raven, and herO, he oof, does face check. Does face check into the Raven. herO now getting his 3rd up and running. Now taking up. Charge is on the way. No forge yet. No forge, no upgrades. herO setting up for a Zealot run by. And this is still very tense. Still very, very tense. The mind drops thankfully did some counter damage. herO testing the waters. Actually, hero's gonna commit in. I assumed it was gonna wait for a backstab, but no. Tanks are exposed, no bunker. Yeah, no bunker, no Sim City. He sees weakness, he sees an opening, and he's going for the tanks. They should get both. Should get both. There we go. 1. Both tanks gonna go down. Nice target firing out of ByuN. But both tanks fall. The Zealots, they just have their way with this army. Very nice force field there. The SCVs. SCVs, they get caught in the low ground. Marines, they cannot engage. And that's going to be 19 dead SCVs. Critical damage. 20 SCVs even. And ByuN is struggling. Zealots, they try to force friendly fire. Nice target firing on the Stalkers. Oof. Still just some friendly fire in the mineral line. And behind this, he was just chilling. Here, he's just getting High Templar. Storm is now on the way. herO is miles ahead. And ByuN from here should be forced into the all-in. Did ByuN see the DT? If you remember, herO, his DTs were on A move, and he revealed his DTs to the SCV. There was an SCV on the low ground that herO attacked by accident. So that's what prompted ByuN to scan. Yeah, it's herO. Now that he's ahead, he's just throwing down pylons all over the place, just getting vision on any kind of drops. That is a way for ByuN to recover, is drop play. Raven moves out. herO is aware. Oh, right, there's no blink. When I see Stalkers, I just assume the blink. Oh, no! Oh, as ByuN rallies over the Stalkers. Raven goes down. Oh, never mind. Barely survives. Okay. Barely survives. As ByuN almost punished. Just able to get back. As herO is getting ready for the second wave. Drop on the right hand side, which means there's even less to defend. There's only 1 tank on the low ground. Nice mine shot. Oh my god. Yeah, the mine shots are solid. Tank, ooh, doesn't quite focus on the High Templar. Yeah, storms on the army here, and herO has done it. He has broken the natural. There's not many zealots left over, though. Yeah, not many zealots. The drops, they come back home to defend. No. And ByuN, he will barely defend here. Cleans everything up. He'll still lose 10 SCVs, but ByuN holds. ByuN holds on. Again, unfortunately, here he had no proxy pylon or war prism, so he couldn't reinforce. He was lacking zealots. I say lacking zealots, technically it was the Widow Mines. Like, the Widow Mines, they traded so well against the charge lots. There were some brutal connections. ByuN dropping on the right. Here has to be careful not to be too wasteful here. herO moves in. Pulls away. herO moves in, bypasses ByuN's army, cleaning up 3, 4, 5 Widow Mines. ByuN does. I was gonna say ByuN commits to a fight, but he takes a massive storm to the face. And herO, he may have enough. I mean, his lack of reinforcements is still hurting him. His defensive weapons back at home, storm in the mineral line. And ByuN may barely clean this army up. Not even. There's still 2 Archons left over. Yeah, herO's finally done it. He's finally done it. He's finally broken the natural. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. herO does take a lead in the series. Again, ByuN, he was able to keep up with the initial DT aggression, that is true, but he was stuck on one base, he was stuck with a subpar economy, and we did see that herO was able to punish him, well, specifically punish his lack of defenses at his natural base. We spoke about how there was just no sim city there, no depots, no bunkers, nothing to protect the tanks, so that herO whipped in his zealots and was able to break that natural base. Didn't kill, but did cripple. He was able to cripple ByuN then and there. GG, well played, and with that, herO takes a lead, and now we're loading into Ruby Rock. Another one of these smaller maps. Okay. Another smaller map. Once again, it does favor aggression. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. It is ByuN. Here we go. As again, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is another one of these smaller maps. Aggression is also favored here, and you got to see that last game. Even though herO, again, never really had a reinforcement point, he was still able to press his advantage and be in the face of ByuN and break him. And part of the reason for that happening was the size of the map. It's also applicable here to Ruby Rock, where the third base is more open, the fourth base is more open. Yeah, this area in between the bases as well that's more accessible, and we often do see a lot of all-ins and a lot of aggression on Ruby Rock. Now, I should emphasize that this goes both ways. Just because we saw an aggressive herO last game doesn't mean that ByuN can't also be as aggressive as well. So we'll see if ByuN does shift gears. For now, ByuN coming with the eBay block. Thankfully, herO was able to scout in time, pull some of the boys, and shut this down. A little bit late to pull some extra workers here, pulling 4 probes in total. So a little bit late to pull, but regardless, should be able to expand. Oh, do you see what I see? So ByuN had to make a choice. He could have gone Rax into CC, but he's going Rax into Factory off of one gas. With this, we can go Marine into Reactor. We'll see if he goes into the Reactor into add-on swap. Yep, there it is. Reactor is on the way. Most likely add-on swap into Hellion production into Hellion aggression. So we'll see what ByuN can get done. The other option, of course, is to stay on the Rax and go Reacted Reaper. True, true. Could go Reacted Reaper instead. Regardless, it is a very late command center is what we're emphasizing. So a hyper aggressive build here as the CC is late. It's going to be the add-on swap. So add-on swap into Reacted Hellion. And we'll see how hard ByuN commits. Oh, speaking of aggression, herO going for a 3-gate opener. Okay. This is often not seen, so this is very committed. Basically, what is herO doing? He's delaying his tech. He's delaying everything. Late Twilight Council, and going to be a later third base as well, in favor of an extra gateway, an extra set of gateways. Whereas typically, we'd already have a Twilight Council by now. A 4-gate. He's going for the 4-gate, and ByuN scouts. ByuN scouts. He finds one of the gateways. Again, this is basically an all-in at a herO, and he's been seen. herO responds. He wants to try to save that pylon. At the same time, Hellion's a counterattack. In a head-on fight, ByuN will lose, but ByuN's not fighting head-on. ByuN's going for the run-by instead, going for the economy. Oh boy. As Hellions, they hit the natural, Marine does go down. The probes, there's no saving them. There's no saving these workers. There's no recall available either. Oh my god! Probes, they line up. Every probe is going to go down, and now we're going for the quote-unquote base trade. What do we have, though? We have 3 units. We have 1 Stalker, 1 Adept, and 1 Sentry, and 1 Probe. herO is breaking into the main. At the same time, the Hellions, they could even... they could try to push further in, but there's a force field here at the ramp. herO, he has to commit. So Cyclone has arrived. Nice lock on here on the Sentry. Sentry goes down. Lock on the Stalker. Stalker going to be forced back. Tank is now in production. And there's a lot of Stalkers, though. Yeah, it's a lot of Stalkers, and the depot is finally going to go down. He breaks in. Does break in. Losing another Stalker. Down to 5. 5 Stalkers left. Hellions, they come in from behind. Gonna be zoned away. ByuN is contained on 1 base, but ByuN is still in a better position. Like, this is still not enough damage. As herO does pick up the final Hellions. Nice target firing. Oof. And tank shot goes off for losing 1 or more Stalker. The Adept as well. You're going for a Stargate behind this. Okay. Huh. Again, a really awkward follow-up, as here he has a lot of catching up to do. He's trying to reprobe, trying to resaturate. I mean, the Twilight Council and Blink were already going to be late. Now even later. And we'll see how our players build up. Here, he's already aware of the Banshees. Did spot them. That actually might be the reason why we have, yeah, the Stargate. For all herO knows, they could be Cloak. So the Oracles are on the way. We know, of course, there is no Cloak. But the Banshees are moving out. Remember, herO has no blink. herO moves out. He gets a volley off. There's a recall into the main. Again, herO's army is very immobile. And 2 Banshees, they can one-shot. The shield battery does nothing. The battery does nothing. Gets 3, gets up to 4. Oh my god. Rotates into the main. Once again, Stalker's having a hard time keeping up, but there's that 4th probe going down. Oh. Banshees take a lot of damage. Oh no! ByuN pulls out, but the Phoenix has arrived. There's that revelation showing us that, again, herO was unaware of whether or not there was Cloak. herO moves out. Now with that Phoenix, he can lift a tank, but there are two. Yeah, 2 tanks are available. This time, nice SimCity. If you remember, this is what ByuN was missing in game 1. We spoke about it in game 1, but ByuN, his natural was incredibly open. Here, he fully walls off. So a much stronger defensive stance for ByuN. And here he sees the wall and he kind of find a way in. So third Banshee is thrown away. You're building up towards Storm. Very late third base for herO. So again, herO is still in a very awkward economic game state. Again, the early game was just awkward in general. It's very awkward. And ByuN does have a timing available to him. Stim is finishing up. But for now, ByuN just setting up outside of his natural. Third CC is on the way. ByuN has to be careful. He has to be careful not to be caught out. Zell save rotate over. herO could try to dive on those tanks, but herO does pull back. Oh, never mind. herO's dropping. This is where, sorry, ByuN is dropping. This is where ByuN is at his weakest. herO can try to commit in. He has to be careful with those High Templar. Nice tank fire. Yeah, tanks on the High Templar. One Templar goes down. He gets one. Gets one, gets two. Yeah, very nice focus firing there by ByuN. As ByuN does hold at the same time, double drop into the main base. Oof, her probes are going to be going down. There's the recall. Recall is a little bit late. The damage has already been done. It's already been done here, even focusing on the Sentry, the High Templar. Oof. Massive pickoffs. ByuN still trading well, and here comes the main push. The main push towards the third. herO just getting torn apart. No, another Templar. Thankfully, there's a shield battery. Thankfully, there is a battery. Drop back into the main base. Remember, recall's on cooldown. And hero's just being torn apart. You cannot keep up. Not like this. Not like this. As ByuN is going to consolidate. ByuN pulls away. Once again building up. And hero's just has been having a very hard time. And throughout the entire game, herO has been trying to stabilize. Been trying to hold on. Scan reveals the fourth base. If you notice, no gas at the fourth and no gas at the third. It's very zealot heavy. Nice lift on the Widowmine. Okay. Does lift. Decent storm. herO making the best out of what he has. Starting back ByuN. Ghost production has begun though. And Ghost had built to deal with all things Protoss here. The Charge Lots and the High Templar. He's coming in! The EMP! Oh my god! Massive EMP. There's one storm left. One High Templar didn't get caught out. Oh, and the Zelsa left behind. Yeah, Zelsa left behind. As hero's just trying to buy some time. Here behind this going double Robo into double Colossus production, but this does feel late. I think because it is. So I'll say push back in. Head for the third. ByuN's in position. There's a position, cleans up every single zealot. Oof, EMP once again, catching up both High Templar. And there is 0 Templar left. So 0 Templar, 0 Storms. Again, hero's being hanging in there the entire game. Doing the best he could to just hang in there, but at this point, ByuN should have enough. At this point, again, there's no Storm, there's no High Templar. My shots on the Zealots. We do have some Immortals on the way. Once again, nice EMP on the High Templar. Once again, the EMPs, they catch everything. In a moment of desperation, here he pulls the boys. The boys are doing what they can. 20 probes go down, and both Immortals as well. I think it went down to 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker left. That's the army for herO. We got this. We got. Does go for the warp in. There's the NG overcharge on High Templar. He's got 1 Storm. And this should be hero's final stand. Oof. As both Robos get depowered. Again, there's no support for the Robo army. GG gets called, and ByuN ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 3. Again, it was just a very rough start. Winding it back, why was it rough? If you remember, herO did go for a 4-gate opener. He went 3 gates back at home, a 4th gateway across the map. It was hyper aggressive, borderline all in out of herO, and he got scattered. He got scattered early on, so ByuN was able to pull back in time, evacuate his natural, his low ground, muster up a defense on the high ground, and get his cyclone out, get his tank out as well, and ByuN was able to get into a much better position. Of course, the counter play and the drop play also did excel, just because of how delayed herO was when it came to any of his upgrades, any of his tech, because of the opener, because of the 4-gate, right? The 4-gate was very committed, failed to do damage, herO fell behind, herO stayed behind. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3, the ace match. We're going all the way to the ace match. You're going to be loading into Winter Madness. Finally, we take a break from these smaller maps. Game 1 was 10,000 feet. Game 2 was Ruby Relic, but now we're going to be loading into Winter Madness, one of the larger, more macro maps in the map pool. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Red Protoss play area, the Red Protoss himself. Representing T1, it is herO. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go. Here we go, as we are going to be setting up. And unlike the previous game, we don't really have as much of an aggressive setup here. ByuN is going for a standard opener. We have our single gas, racks expand, economic start out of ByuN. There's no eBay block, there's no shenanigans. Except for herO, of course, with a probe. Just being as annoying as possible. Forcing out another SCV. Once herO does regenerate his shields. Another SCV being sent out. And the players will settle in. Again, gate expand out of herO. Racks into CC out of ByuN. Oh! This probe is still very low. 4 HP probe. Cuidado, papi, cuidado. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say my mistake because we had a factory, but no, it was factory after CC. So just CC on the high ground. Very safe play out of ByuN, as he does not risk it going for a low ground expansion. So it's safe on the high ground. Does mean that it's going to be a little bit later, a little bit delayed, but safe overall. As herO hides his probe from the Reaper. Does keep the probe hidden. Reaper moves in. We're soon going to get our tech of choice. herO doesn't proxy, so no proxy Stargate or anything like that. Probe's just going in for a rescout. And we have a Twilight Council back at home. So it should be Blink. Blink base opener out of herO. I know that herO's been enamored with Charge in PvZ. That is true. And Charge is also a viable opener in this matchup as well. But if you recall, I mentioned this, I think it was in game 1 or game 2. But typically when you open up Charge, it's meant to almost like hard counter an aggressive Terran player. That's often seen on smaller maps. Don't really love the idea of doing that here in Winter Madness. As there it is, Blink is on the way. Now the question becomes how many gateways? We have one gateway in the main. We have, two gateways in the main base, so 2 gate Blink currently. I say 2, that's a 3rd gateway, and do we throw it in a 4th? Hello, probe. What's going on? 3 gate Blink into a Robo. A little bit more committed here on 2 bases. And with that, herO is going to be fighting for map control. He's going to be fighting for control, taking another gas geyser. Again, this is all delaying the 3rd base of herO. Bear that in mind. herO could have been more greedy, could have been more economic, but he's opting not to. And we'll see if ByuN can keep up. So Reaper distracts. Drop into the natural. Drop moves in. We'll get some probe kills. Gets 1. Gets 2. 2 probes go down. As herO did accidentally pull back into the army. Pulled back in. ByuN going for his 1-1-1. After the drop is going for Ravens. Likewise, only a singular tank so far. ByuN failed to get into the main base. That's the scariest thing. ByuN doesn't know how many gateways there are. It could be 2 gate or it could be 3. Or even 4. Ooh, as a medevac up. Oh, my barely gets away. Whew. Calm down, Bappy, calm down. Barely pulls out. Here comes the War Prism, getting into charge as well. Still on 2 bases. The 3rd base is very late here for herO, but he should be expanding. Should be. There it is. 3rd base is on the way. The Reaper does confirm, so ByuN confirms there's no 2 base all in. But still very committed play here by herO. ByuN knows that. Ooh. herO did spot the War Prism. Back at home, he's got his bunker, he's got his tanks, not bad. Oh, he does focus down 5 extra workers. Very nice damage here by ByuN. Gets 5 more probes. And the pressure's now on herO. Now this main base is large enough where you can just avoid the tank fire. The tank is in position at the ramp, but the stim is exposed, and stim is going to be denied. Massive pickoff here. Stim goes down, and now going for the reactor on the starport. Ooh, Blinks on top of the tank, and 1 more volley. Tank goes down as well. So, tech lab, a reactor, tank, and a couple of marines. Nice control by herO. Blinks away. herO losing 7 probes across the map due to the harass. Meanwhile, losing only 1 stalker, and he's not done. He rotates over. Tank is a little bit further back. Does get focused down. Yeah, tank goes down. ByuN out of position. Thankfully, though, that bunker will survive. Keeps the bunker alive. Snapping the observer. herO diving back in. Dives back in. That tank is a little bit late to siege. At the same time, the Raven harass here has been very annoying. 8 more probes. I mean, it has been quite successful, actually. Once again, herO, he wants his add-ons. He gets them. Yeah, still no stim. Still no tech lab on the racks. Ay, ay, ay. And ByuN is contained, right? Technically, ByuN is surviving the aggression, that is true, but because of the lack of stim, like, he can't move out. ByuN is stuck at home. He's stuck at home, and yes, herO's been losing pros, but he's free to remake them. He's reprobing. He's resaturating. Now working towards Storm. Simple archives on the way. It has been a bit of a messy game, that is true. Just because herO's been losing so many probes. In total, has lost 19 probes back at home. It's a lot of probes going down. Oh. He's going straight for the tank. he just walks past the Marines. Gets a tank, tank goes down, Marines are getting bullied, and why is this happening? Because there's no stim. Like, the Marines, they just cannot keep up. They cannot keep up. Combat shields is denied. Boys are being pulled into Mass Stalker. Another tank does siege up. Her stim is almost halfway done. It's gonna be like a 9-minute stim timing. Observer gets caught out. Observer gets caught. Now there's 4 Marauders, so now there is a punish. The Marauders can punish Stalkers if they go in. As they pick off more add-ons. But at least Stim is safe, right? Like, Stim is safe. ByuN is able to hang in there. herO, meanwhile, getting a 4th base. Meanwhile, I mean, remember, ByuN is still on 2 bases. herO's getting a 4th. Storm has begun. And with Stim finishing, finally ByuN can be active. But even then, he's split out so much army. Speaking of herO, he wants that second depot. He gets it. 2 depots go down. ByuN just wants a 3rd base. He just wants to play some StarCraft. But again, finally with Stim, now we can break out, now we can expand, and ByuN can look towards a longer game, towards the mid game. I believe the academy is complete. Yep, he's at the academy. Can build up into some ghosts. herO blinking into the main, bypassing ByuN. Oh no, combat shield! He gets combat shields. Oh my god. Denies combat shields, denies concussive shell as well. Stim may have completed, but the other upgrades, he just can't get them. He just wants to get his upgrades back. Oh no. And herO's going in for the kill. The tanks are exposed. He's going straight for the tanks. There's 2 tanks are on the road. Massive storm in the bio. Storm connects. Both tanks fall. Oof. Another storm grazing the army. Nice denial of the warp in. Warp-in is denied, but there's too much Protoss. There's just too much Protoss here. The boys are being pulled. Another storm. GG gets called, and herO will take the series 2-1, being the first player to advance out of the group stage into the playoffs. GG. Whew, GG, well played. herO able to claim the series 2-1. Again, herO, he did go 3-gate blink. He went 3-gate robo into blink on 2 bases. He went for a much more aggressive build, was able to go for the counterattack. ByuN was in the dark, he was unaware. Not just that though, ByuN, he did have his tanks in position, he did have his bunker on the low ground, but we spoke about it, Winter Madness, the main base is large enough where you could blink into the main and avoid that tank anyway. So we saw that herO was able to abuse the size of the map, ByuN was out of position, and we saw add-ons going down time and time again. Heavy delay on Stim, heavy delay on all the add-ons. Tanks were being sniped time and time again as they attempted to reposition because the Stalkers were getting out of control, and ByuN was just stuck at home. It took him, again, he got Stim at like 9 minutes, like 9-minute Stim timing, which is crazy late. And even then, he couldn't even finish combat shields. Like, he just couldn't get any upgrades. His main base was so compromised, was so exposed. GG. GG, well played. herO able to abuse that and abuse ByuN. And with that, congratulations. herO is the first player to make it through into the playoffs. Meanwhile, if you're a fan of ByuN, do not worry, do not fret, because ByuN has one more chance. He has one more chance to make it through. it is going to be a rematch. If you remember, it's going to be a rematch here of the first series of the broadcast. It is going to be a ByuN versus Trigger. That's how we began the night, and it's how we're going to be ending the broadcast as well.